Africana DHI, Africana Digital Humanities Institute, ran from May 28th to June 11th. It was all online. We had 15 participants from 4 countries, 4 continents, a diverse offering of digital humanities tools. As well, we talked about bibliographic information that consists of new Africana works as well as foundational works for thinking about digital humanities from an Africana perspective. So one of the things that I think is unique to our institution is its focus on digital humanities. So we have a few scholars who have been doing this work for a number of years. Like a lot of institutions, Africana-centered approaches to digital humanities is sometimes work that's being done in isolation. We have the benefit that folks have been thinking about this for a little while at our institution. So we have the Center for Digital Humanities. Putting on an institute like this one really fit into the goals and missions of both the center as well as the Africana Studies program as we began to think about expanding to an MA or even a master's certificate program in digital humanities work that has an Africana center. Specifically for those that are participating that are either people of color, and so their experiences are very much informed by their history in the US or globally, or for people who are doing this work on folks of African descent. With that work comes a certain passion for the voices of people on the margins being heard. So this institute was not only about learning new tools, but also finding out how you can connect with those communities, maintain the kind of passion that you have, and bring that to the academic work that you do. Reaching those audiences, in order to do that, it will be very important to speak to those kinds of concerns that communities of colors have. The whole wide internet was really helpful in a couple of ways. So for our institute, I reached out to a number of colleagues who I knew were doing similar projects, or they maybe had not talked about using digital tools, but I thought it could help some of the work that they were doing. And then I just talked with a lot of friends and colleagues who were in Africana studies or doing Africana-centered work, and asked them to talk to their networks or to consider being a part of the Institute as well. The Association of Internet Researchers was actually very helpful, and I think that's really what gave us a boost in attracting international participants. I guess I had 2 major challenges, one going in and one that presented itself once we began. Going in, my biggest challenge was, am I qualified to do this kind of work? When I looked at the applicants, they had a diverse set of skills, and some of them could be counted as experts in their field. But I was able to, in some way, quiet my fears by keeping in mind that they had signed on to this institute with for particular reasons, some of them because they wanted to start an institute similar to it, because there are very few resources. Even if you are an expert in a certain area, it's very important to reach out. And also thinking about this as a collaborative project, I was not there to know everything or to have all of the answers, but it really forced me to think collaboratively about how we build out the institute. And then the other challenge, I hadn't anticipated it being such an international audience, and we wanted to make sure the Institute was accessible to everyone. So we definitely didn't want to turn anyone away because they were outside of the U.S., especially given the kind of goals that we had for the Institute overall. So we accepted international as well as U.S. participants. That became a challenge in terms of balancing time zones, figuring out which apps or platforms to use in order to make sure we were using the right GMT. We were all over the place in terms of time zones. So navigating that became a challenge, but it also became a teachable moment. People have to know that DHRI is a wonderful institution in terms of the supports that they offer for scholars beyond their own institution to continue to build collaborations that go far beyond your own time within their institute.